The total fertility rate of 2.1 is often regarded as the ideal benchmark for maintaining a stable population in developed countries. This rate ensures that each generation can replace itself without leading to population decline. However, many developed nations, such as the UK, Japan, and various countries across Europe, are falling short of this threshold. Some even record astonishingly low rates. South Korea, Singapore, and Taiwan have seen fertility rates plummet below one child per woman, a surprising trend given the advanced healthcare systems and infrastructures these nations boast. In stark contrast, developing countries such as Nigeria, Kenya, and Somalia have fertility rates that frequently exceed 6 children per woman, despite their significant challenges in accessing healthcare and basic infrastructure. This discrepancy raises a vital question. How do these nations manage to sustain larger families while wealthier countries grapple with declining birth rates? It's important to recognize the complexities involved. Not every developed nation exhibits low fertility rates, and not all developing nations have exceptionally high rates. For instance, certain developed countries maintain higher fertility rates due to targeted family-friendly policies and cultural norms encouraging larger families. One of the primary drivers behind these differences is economic factors. Raising a family in developed nations can be prohibitively expensive. Take Japan, where raising a child is estimated to cost approximately $120,000, while in the United States, expenses can skyrocket to as much as $310,000 over a child's upbringing. In contrast, the cost of raising a child in India is around $12,000. In densely populated cities like Tokyo or Paris, where housing space is limited and costly, many families are inclined to have fewer children. This trend is often driven by a mindset shift where parents focus on the quality of life and opportunities provided to each child rather than the quantity of children. Additionally, the prevalence of long working hours in developed nations further limits personal interactions, impacting family dynamics and ultimately contributing to lower fertility rates. Conversely, in many developing countries, large families are often financially viable, particularly in agrarian communities where children are regarded as assets. In these settings, children contribute to household labor, particularly in farming. Families tend to work fewer hours, allowing for more opportunities for interaction, bonding, and mutual support among family members. Moreover, educational access varies significantly. Many children in Africa do not attend school, and the absence of consistent educational costs means larger families do not incur the same financial penalties experienced in wealthier nations. Infant mortality rates also play an immense role in influencing fertility decisions. In developed countries, advanced healthcare technologies and systems contribute to low infant mortality rates. In contrast, many developing nations, especially in regions like sub-Saharan Africa, grapple with high infant mortality rates. Here, families often respond to these risks by having more children as a safety net against potential losses. The grief of losing a child drives many parents to prefer larger families in hopes of ensuring that some children will survive into adulthood. Cultural and religious beliefs heavily influence family size as well. In many developed nations, the advancement of gender equality has empowered women to pursue higher education and careers, often leading them to delay childbirth until their mid-30s or later. This shift towards prioritizing career and personal development contributes to declining fertility rates. At the same time, modern secular values often emphasize personal freedom, autonomy, and the pursuit of individual aspirations over traditional family structures. In stark contrast, in many developing countries, cultural norms and traditional gender roles uphold the significance of motherhood. Women are often encouraged to marry and start families at a younger age, which contributes to higher birth rates. Religious beliefs in these regions can further solidify the notion that having numerous children is a blessing, reinforcing societal values that promote large families. Access to contraception and family planning is another critical aspect affecting fertility rates. In developed countries, over 80% of women benefit from access to contraceptives, which allows them to make informed choices regarding childbirth and family size. This access to reproductive health services empowers women, enabling them to plan their families and pursue their life goals without the constraint of unplanned pregnancies. However, the scenario is quite different in rural areas of countries such as Uganda or Chad, where women often lack access to clinics and essential reproductive health services. In these regions, cultural and religious pressures may further deter women from using contraception. Consequently, larger family sizes are common, primarily resulting from unplanned pregnancies, which underscores the need for improved access to reproductive education and services. Remarkably, there are exceptions within both categories. For instance, developed nations like Israel maintain a fertility rate of 2 to 3, attributed largely to governmental support, such as subsidized daycare, tax benefits per child, and a society that values culture, religion, and family values resulted in high birth rate. Similarly, several developing countries, including Thailand, Iran, Sri Lanka, and Turkey, have witnessed a decline in birth rates due to improved healthcare access, higher education levels, and urban living, all of which contribute to changing family dynamics. The variations in fertility rates between countries have also led to other significant social and economic challenges, notably in relation to population aging. Countries like Japan and South Korea are confronted with the repercussions of increasingly aging populations, finding themselves with shrinking workforces as the number of retirees outpaces that of working individuals. In contrast, many nations in Africa are experiencing a population boom, characterized by a youthful demographic eager to enter the workforce. Projections suggest that by 2050, 1 in 4 individuals globally will reside in Africa, suggesting that the future workforce and avenues for innovation may increasingly emerge from the global south. In summary, fertility rates are not merely a matter of biology, but are profoundly influenced by a complex interplay of socioeconomic factors, cultural norms, religious beliefs, and access to education and healthcare. The stark contrast between developed and developing nations emphasize that we cannot use fertility rates in isolation to draw conclusions about societal trends. In essence, the current landscape illustrates that developed countries tend to have smaller families due to high living costs, urbanization, and individualistic lifestyles. In contrast, developing nations continue to support larger families under differing social and economic circumstances, highlighting the need for a deeper understanding of the factors that shape family dynamics worldwide.